We are continuing with the chapter Rotational Dynamics of State Board 12 Standard. In this chapter, there is a subtopic named Circular Motion. So let us study circular motion. The topics covered in this video is what is the direction of angular velocity in circular motion, what are the kinematics of circular motion, non-uniform circular motion, centripetal and centrifugal force. One activity discussed in the textbook, we'll discuss that also. After that, we'll see the numerical based on this topic, that whatever we will study in this topic, we'll see its numerical. Those numericals are based on angular velocity, how to find angular velocity, how to find angular displacement, how to find linear velocity, angular acceleration, linear acceleration, centripetal force. So how to calculate this, let us see in this topic, in this video. Okay. Now, as discussed, let us see what is the direction of angular velocity in circular motion. If the particle is performing circular motion in anti-clockwise sense about this center, then the direction of angular velocity is perpendicular to the plane and directed upward. Similarly, if the direction of rotation of the particle is in clockwise sense, the angular direction of angular velocity is reversed. It is still perpendicular to the plane passing through the center, but in this case, it is directed downward. It is found by right hand rule. You have to curl the fingers as shown in this figure. If this curl finger shows the direction of motion, then the outstretched thumb denotes the direction of angular velocity. Now here in this case, the curl fingers denotes the direction in anti-clockwise sense. So the outstretched thumb, which is directed upward, that's the direction of angular velocity. Now if you turn your hand upside down, the outstretched thumb will be directed downward and the direction of the curl finger will be in clockwise sense. In that case, the direction of angular velocity is downward. So in this way, we can find out the direction of angular velocity in circular motion. Now let us see what are the kinematics of circular motion. We already know, we have already studied in the lower class, and in the last video, we have discussed about the kinematics in linear motion. You can see in the description box the link of that video, first video. You can see that. Now here I'll just discuss in brief in this case. Now here in case of linear motion, S denotes displacement, U is for initial velocity, V is for final velocity, A is for acceleration, and T is for time. Similarly, in case of circular motion, S is analogous to theta, that is angular displacement, that is displacement is analogous to angular displacement. Velocity is analogous to angular velocity. So in case of circular motion, we are taking omega 0 for initial velocity and omega is for final velocity. In case of linear motion, A is the acceleration, and in case of angular velocity, alpha is the acceleration, and time t is same for both the motions. We know that the velocity v is given by ds by dt in case of linear motion. In case of circular motion, omega, that is angular velocity, is given by d theta by dt, that is d by dt of angular displacement theta. Similarly, in case of linear motion, acceleration A is given by dv by dt, that is differentiation of velocity with respect to time. Now here in case of angular acceleration, it is the derivation, it is the differentiation of omega, that is angular velocity, that is d omega by dt, that gives alpha. Okay. Now in case of the kinematic equations of linear motion, p is equal to u plus ct, that is final velocity is equal to initial velocity plus acceleration into time. Similarly, in case of circular motion, final angular velocity is equal to initial angular velocity plus angular acceleration into time. Both the equations are exactly similar, but the quantities are different. In first case, in case of linear motion, all the quantities are related to linear motion, that is linear velocity, linear displacement. And here in case of circular motion, it is angular velocity, angular acceleration, angular displacement, and so on. Now here v square is equal to u square plus 2s, whereas in case of circular motion it is omega square equals to omega 0 square plus 2 times alpha into theta, that is 2 times angular acceleration into angular displacement. Similarly, the linear displacement s is equal to ut plus half at square. Here in this case, angular displacement is equal to omega t, or angular displacement theta is equal to initial velocity into time plus half, angular acceleration into time square. So these are the kinematics of circular motion. Now let us proceed further. What is non-uniform circular motion? See, when we switch on the fan and the regulator of the fan is at 5th speed. So the fans will attain speed from 0 to the maximum speed. The initial speed will be 0 and the final speed of the fan will be whatever is the maximum speed. So during this time, from 0 to the maximum, the speed is not constant. It is changing, continuously increasing. On the other hand, if the fan which is on the maximum speed is now switched off, this fan, the speed of this blade will reduce from maximum to 0. So during this time, again, the speed of the circular motion is not constant, it's decreasing. So in the first case, when the fan is switched on, it is increasing, and when the fan is switched off, it is decreasing. So in this case, these are called non-uniform circular motion because the speed is not constant. Now in this case, when the speed is increasing, the direction of angular velocity and angular acceleration is same. It is directed upward and perpendicular, passing through the center of the circular path. Whereas in case of decreasing speed, the direction of angular velocity remains same, but the direction of angular acceleration is changed, it is reversed. In this case, the direction of angular acceleration, it is denoted by negative sign, and it is also called as retardation. Now let us proceed further. Centripetal force. In the previous video, we have discussed in detail. You can again go to the link given in the description. Now, centripetal force is a force which acts on a body performing circular motion and acts along the radius of the circular path. Acts along the radius of the circular path and directed towards the center from the object. Its mathematical expression is F is equal to minus m omega square r. This negative sign is here because it is directed towards the center. That's why this negative sign is there. Similarly, the magnitude is F equals to m omega square r or mv square upon r, where v is linear velocity, m omega v. This is another expression for centripetal force. Now let us see what is centrifugal force. Centrifugal force, again, it is discussed in the previous video. You can go to the link which is mentioned in the description. It is a pseudo force. Centrifugal force is a pseudo force which acts on a particle performing circular motion in the direction away from the center, from directed towards the particle away from the center, as it is seen in this figure. The arrowhead is directed away from the center. Okay, so this is a centrifugal force, which is a pseudo force. It is not a real force. In case of centripetal force, it is a real force, and centrifugal force is not a real force, it is a pseudo force. What are the example of pseudo force? Again, it is mentioned in the previous video. Now, the magnitude of centripetal force and centrifugal force is same, but just there is a difference in sign. In case of centripetal force, this sign was negative, and here in case of centrifugal force, the sign is positive. That's the only difference between centripetal force and centrifugal force, and the magnitude remains same. Now let us see further. Now this activity is given in the textbook. It says that attach a suitable mass to spring balance so that it stretches by about half its capacity. If the spring balance is having a capacity of say 2 kg, so you have to attach a weight of 1 kg, and then whirl the spring balance so that it performs a circular motion in horizontal plane. Now you'll notice that in that case, you'll notice that the balance now read more mass for the same mass. Means the mass was of 1 kg. Now that mass will be more in spring balance. Now can you explain this? Now let us see the example of this lift elevator. Now in this lift, if a weighing machine is kept and if you are standing on the weighing machine, when the lift start moving upward, you will find that the weighing machine will show the reading that your weight is increasing. Your weight is increasing. Your actual weight, say for example, it is 50 kg. But in the lift, when it is moving upward, it shows that it shows in the weighing machine that the mass, that the weight is increasing. Okay. Now, actually, your weight is not increasing. Your weight is 50 kg only. But since you are moving against the direction of gravity, you will feel heavier. And this feeling of heavier is nothing but due to pseudo force. So similarly, here in this case of whirling a mass by spring balance is nothing but acting of a pseudo force. Pseudo force is acting on the body, and hence the mass is increased. Now let us see the numericals based on this topic. Calculate the angular velocity of 3 hands of clock. There are 3 hands in the clock. One is second hand, other is minute hand, and the third is hour hand. Every hand has its own time period of rotation. So let us begin with second hand. The time period for the second hand to complete one complete rotation, it takes 60 seconds. So the angular speed omega is equal to 2 pi upon t. This expression we have seen in the previous video. Again, I have repeated it. So it becomes 2 into 3.14, value of pi is 3.14 upon 60. That comes out to be 0.105 radian per second. Or if you keep the pi as it is, it will be pi upon 30. Pi by 30 radian per second. That will be the speed of rotation of angular speed of second hand. Now let us see what is the angular speed of minute hand. See, the minute hand, it takes 60 minutes to complete one rotation. Now in 60 minutes, there are how many seconds? 60 seconds into 60 seconds. So the time period is 3600 seconds for the minute hand. So again, omega equals to 2 pi by t. And when you substitute all these values, you will get 1.74 into 10 raised to minus 3 radian per second. Similarly, for our hand take 12 hours to complete one rotation. So the total time, that is the time period, is 12 into 3600. That will be the time period in seconds. Okay. Now, therefore, the omega equals to again 2 pi by t. We'll substitute all the values and we are getting the answer 1.45 into 10 raised to minus 4 radian per second. So in this way, we can calculate the angular velocity of different particles. The basic formula for this is 2 pi by omega. Yeah, sorry, 2 pi by t. Omega equals to 2 pi by t. Now, this can be modified. Here, 2 pi into 1 by t, and 1 upon t is nothing but frequency, that is n. So, this formula, in that case, it will become omega equals to 2 pi n. Okay, we'll see problem based on 2 pi n also in next problems. Now, let us see the next problem. What is the angular displacement of minute hand of a clock in 20 minutes? If it is, that is the minute hand, is 5 centimeter long, what is the linear speed of its tip? Now, here, see here, the clock is divided into 12 divisions. The complete circle is divided into 12 divisions. That is 360 degree is divided into 12 divisions. So each division is of 30 degree. That is pi by 6. Each division is of 30 degree. That is pi by 6. Okay. Now here for 20 minutes, there it has to cover 1, 2, 3, and 4 divisions. Okay. So the angular displacement of the minute hand in 20 minutes will be 4 times pi by 6 radian. That will be equal to 2.1 radian. If you substitute pi, value of pi, it will become 2.1 radian. So in 20 minutes, the angular displacement is 2.1 radian. You can calculate for 25 minutes or 35 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, 45 minutes, and so on. You can practice by your own. And if you can practice, then you can mention that answer in a comment section. Now let us see what is the angular velocity, linear velocity of the tip of the hand whose length is 5 centimeter. Now we know that the linear speed of the tip is v is equal to r omega. We have already calculated omega for minute hand in our previous problem. For minute hand, see here, B part, minute hand, the angular velocity is 1.474 into 10 raised to minus 3 radian per second. So we use this value, you have to calculate this. Otherwise, that is equal to omega equals to, it's given 1.74 into 10 raised to minus 3 radian per second, and R is 0.05 meter. It's given in centimeter, so I'm converting it into meter. So V is equal to 1.74 into 10 raised to minus 3 into 0.05. That comes out to be 8.7 into 10 raised to minus 5 meter per second. So in this way, we can calculate the velocity, linear velocity of tip of hand, or even we can find out the linear velocity of a particle performing circular motion. In other case, okay, it's just we have an object which is performing a circular motion. If you know the radius, what is the radius of the circular motion, you can find out the linear velocity of that particle. Let us move further here. A body rotates in a circular path of radius 0.25 meter. The radius is here, see the figure, 0.25 meter at 240 RPM. 240 RPM is rotation per minute or revolution per minute. Find its angular and linear speed. Further, if the angular speed changes to 330 RPM in 10 seconds, find the angular and linear acceleration. See, in case of physics, we have to first get the problem understand. If you understand the problem, half problem is solved. So first, let us see what the problem says. We'll try to understand what the problem says. We have a body which is performing rotational circular motion. The radius is 0.25. Now let us note down R equals to 0.25. 25 meter. Okay. Initially, it is rotating at a speed of 240 RPM, revolution per minute. Let us note it by N0, that is equal to 240 RPM. Okay. Then this speed changes to 330 RPM. It increases from 240 to 330, and for moving from speed from 240 RPM to 330 RPM, it takes 10 seconds. Let us note down that also. N1 equals to, in first I denoted by N0 and now by N1, that is 330 RPM. It takes time 10 seconds. Okay. Now what we have to find? First, find the angular speed and linear speed. That is omega 0 and V0. This should be actually it should be V0 anyway, but it is V0. Then if the angular speed changes, in that case you have to find out angular and linear acceleration. That is alpha and A. Let us see the solution. Now here it is given in RPM. So we have to first convert into revolution per second. So since it is in minute, we'll divide it by 60. So that comes out to be 240 upon 60 and it becomes 4 revolution per second. Now this is revolution per second is nothing but frequency. So N0 is the initial frequency of that particle, of that body performing circular motion. So omega 0 equals to 2 pi n 0 and that comes out to be 8 pi radian per second. V0 is equal to R omega 0, that is in a angular speed, sorry, linear speed, that is R equals to omega R into omega 0. We have omega 0 as 8 pi. R, it is given in the problem 0.25. So it will be 0.25 into 8 pi, that comes out to be 6.28 meters per second. Okay. Now the speed is changing from 240 RPM to 330 RPM. So N1, let it is denoted by N1, that is equal to, now again we have to convert this RPM into RPS, revolution per second. So again we have to divide it by 60. So 0 gets cancelled and it becomes 5.5 RPS. Now the new omega, that is new angular velocity, that is omega 1 is same to pi N1. It will be, instead of in previous case it was N0, now here it is N1. Okay, so we have all the quantities. 2 pi N1 is 5.5, that comes out to be 11 pi radian per second. Angular acceleration, same as linear acceleration, that is final velocity minus angular velocity upon time. In case of angular velocity, angular acceleration, it is final angular velocity minus initial angular velocity upon time. So final angular acceleration is final angular velocity is 11 pi. Final angular velocity is 11 pi. Initial angular velocity is 8 pi and it takes time 10 seconds. So it comes out to be 3 pi by 10, that is 0.3 pi radian per second square. This is the angular acceleration. Okay. Now let us see what is linear acceleration. Linear acceleration, again we'll use the same formula, final velocity minus initial velocity upon time. So we have already calculated initial velocity. Let us see what is final velocity. So final velocity we have calculated here. V is equal to R, V1 is equal to R omega 1. So on substituting all these values, we got V1 equals to 8.635 meter per second. So this value we have substituted here. It's 8.635. It is 635 minus 6.28 upon 10. That comes out to be 2.355355 upon 10. And the final answer is 0.235 meter per second square. So this is the angular acceleration. So in this way, we found out what is the angular acceleration and angular linear acceleration when the speed changes from 240 RPM to 330 RPM in 10 seconds. Okay, you can practice such problems, and if you have any difficulty, you can post that problem in a comment section. We'll give the solution of that problems. Now let us move further. Now in this problem, the angular acceleration of a body rotating about a given axis is 1 radian per second square. Through what angle does it rotate during the time in which its angular velocity increases from 5 radian per second to 15 radian per second? Now, let us first try to understand what the problem is. See, the body is already performing, or it's already rotating about its axis, and its angular acceleration is 1 radian per second. So since there is acceleration, the speed is continuously going to increase. So in this case, the speed will increase. Now, through what angle it rotates during the time in which its angular velocity increases from 5 radian per second to 15 radian per second. Now, first of all, let us note down all the given quantities. So alpha is given 1 radian per second square. Initial velocity, initial angular velocity omega 0 is given 5 radian per second. Final angular velocity omega 1 is given, it is 15 radian per second, and we have to find out theta. Okay, so here in this case, we'll go back to the kinematic equations of circular motion, and we'll try to find this, where this fits. Okay, so we found that it's fitting in this equation, that is the second kinematic equation, omega 1 square equals to omega 0 square plus 2 alpha theta. Omega 1 is given, omega 0 is also given, alpha is also given, and we have to find out theta. So let us use this second kinematic equation. So theta becomes omega 1 square, this quantity will come here, minus omega 0 square. So here there remains only 2 alpha theta, and if we keep only theta over here, this 2 alpha will come in the denominator. So theta becomes then omega 1 square minus omega 0 square upon 2 alpha. That is 15 square minus 5 square upon 2 into 1. So on calculating, we are getting theta equals to 100 radians. This means that when the speed is changing from 5 radian to 15 radian, during this time, the body covers 100 radians. Okay, so this is the problem. Okay, now let us move further. The fan is rotating at 120 RPM. It is then switched off. It is then switched off means its velocity is now, its angular speed is going to decrease. It stopped after 28 revolutions. After making 28 turns, the fan stops. Calculate the time taken by it to stop, assuming that the frictional torque is constant. Now, after switching off the fan, we have to see how much time it takes to stop. It makes 28 revolution. This problem, very similar problem is there in the textbook. Okay, in this problem, the figures are different. That is 120 RPM. I think there it is 90 RPM is there, and instead of 21 revolutions, in that case it is 21 revolution. Otherwise, the problem is same. Now, I hope you have understand the problem. When the fan is switched off, its speed is going to reduce. It will become 0, and it is reducing from 120 RPM to 0 RPM. For that, it takes 28 revolution. We have to find out what is the time period. Now let us note down all the given quantities. Now as usual, N0, it is initial speed. So initial frequency. So N0 is equal to 120 RPM. That will convert into seconds. So 120 divided by 60, it becomes 2 RPS. That is 2 revolution per second. That is given to us. Now further in the problem, it is given that stops after 28 revolution. Let us note down that also. Final frequency will be 0, n1 will be 0. So omega 1, that is final velocity, that will be also 0. So first let us see what is the initial velocity, that is omega 0. So omega 0 is equal to 2 pi n0. N0 we know that it is 2 RPS. So on substituting all this value, we are getting initial angular speed as 4 pi radian per second. Now the theta, it makes 28 revolution, and each revolution it is making an angle of 2 pi. Okay, so in 28 revolution it will make 56 pi radian. Okay, the angle made by the fan, the tip of the fan is one particular tip of the fan, it will make 56 pi radian. Okay, so in short, it's covering a distance of 56 pi radian. So let us use the same previous formula in the previous problem which I have used. Omega 1 square is equal to omega 0 square plus 2 alpha t. So we are taking alpha on one side and rest all the quantities on the other side. So alpha becomes omega 1 square minus omega 0 square upon 2 theta. Also we are using the first kinematic equation, that is which is similar in linear motion, that is v is equal to u plus at. Now in linear motion it is, sorry, circular motion it is initial angular speed is equal to, sorry, final angular speed is equal to initial angular speed plus acceleration into time. So acceleration will then become, alpha will then become omega 1 minus omega 0 upon t. So let us equate both this equation. So on equating both this equation, we'll get omega square minus omega 0, omega 1 square minus omega 0 square upon 2 theta, that is equal to omega 1 minus omega 0 upon t. Now here in this case, we have all the quantities except t that we have to find out. Otherwise, omega 1, omega 0, theta, everything is given in this problem. That is, we have found out omega 1 and omega 2. Rest, all is given in this problem. Okay, now let us substitute all the given quantities. Now the final velocity, omega 1, that is the fan is stopping, that it will become 0, minus initial angular velocity, it is 4 pi, that is minus 4 pi whole square upon 2 into 56 radian, equals to again 0 minus 4 pi upon t. Okay, now let us calculate this. It will become 16 pi square upon 2 into 56 pi. The pi gets cancelled here, and here that is equal to minus 4 pi upon t, and then t becomes minus 4 pi upon minus 16 pi into 2 into 56. So on calculation, it becomes 28 seconds. So the fan will stop after 28 seconds. It will take 28 revolution and it will stop at 28 seconds. This doesn't mean that for 28 revolution it will be 28 seconds. No, that will be different for different problems. Okay. Now in this case, this is the final answer, that the fan will stop after switching off the fan. The fan will make 28 revolution and it will stop after 28 seconds. This is the final answer of this problem. Similar problem is there in the textbook. You can go through that problem also. Now let us move further. Let us see how to calculate centripetal force. We have till now we have seen how to find out angular acceleration, okay, how to find out linear speed, and so on. Now let us see how to find out centripetal force. Now let us see the problem. In this problem, a mass of 2 kg moves around a horizontal circle of radius 0.5 meter. Okay, it's shown in the figure with an angular speed of 120 rpm. Express the angular speed in radian per second and degree per second. Find linear speed of the mass and centripetal force acting on it. Now, first let us understand the problem. We have a mass of 2 kg. It's revolving in a circular its path, in horizontal circular path of radius 0.5 centimeter, 5 meter, 0.5 meter, with a initial angular speed of 120 rpm. Let us note down that. So mass is 2 kg, r is 0.5, n is 120 rpm. Then we have to express this angular speed in radian per second and degrees per second. And after that, we have to find out linear speed of the mass and centripetal force acting on it. Okay. Now let us see one quantity. Now n is equal to 120 rpm. So we have to first convert it into rps. So 120 upon 60, that will become 2 revolution per second. Now omega equals to 2 pi n, that is equal to 2 pi into value of n is 2, that will be 4 radian. So we have to express here. We have to express angular speed in radian per second. So in radian per second, it is 4 pi. Okay. Now let us see what it is in degree per second. As mentioned in the problem, let us see what it is in degree per second. So we have studied in maths last year how to convert degree into radian and radian into degree. Now here we are going to convert radian into degree. For converting radian into degree, you have to multiply by 180 by pi. So that comes out to be 720 degree per second. So the angular speed in terms of radian per second is 4 pi, and in terms of degree per second is 720 degree per second. Okay. Now let us see linear speed. Now linear speed, we know that V is equal to R omega. We have R and also we have omega. We have substituted here. R value of R is 0.5, that is 1 upon 2, and omega is 4 pi. 2 2s are 4, that gets cancelled and becomes 2 pi. You can further calculate this in degree per second also. You have to substitute 720 in place of 4 pi and you'll get in degree per second. Okay. Now let us see force. Now force is equal to, here we have already calculated, M is already given in the problem. We have already calculated omega and V. So out of the given 2-3 expression, this is the most suitable expression for the this problem, because already we have M, we have omega, we have V. So we'll substitute all these values, and the force acting, centripetal force acting on that particle is 16 pi square Newton. So in this way, we have tried to calculate problems based on this topic, and we have tried almost problem on all the topics what I have covered. Okay, so if you have any further problems, numerical problems with you, and if you're not getting solution of those problem, you can write those problem in a comment section. Now let us move further. There is a practice problem. One practice problem is for you. Now I'll just read the problem. A spin dryer of a washing machine is rotating at 15 rps, revolution per second. The spin dryer that is in the washing machine, and it's rotating at a speed of 15 rps. Then it slow down to 5 rps, making 50 revolution. Okay. Similar like the fan, it's stopping after making 28 revolution. Here in this case, it is stopping at a, it's slow down by making 50 revolution. We have to find out the angular acceleration. Okay. So try to solve this problem and write your answer in the comment section below this video. There is a comment section. You can write your answer. You can also ask the numerical based on this topic. If you have more numericals, you can ask those numerical based on this topic only, strictly based on this topic only. We are going to continue with the further topics So in further topics, if you have the problems, then you can mention in those videos. But in this particular video, we have to mention the problem. We have to ask the problem based on whatever is taught in this video. Further, if you have any doubt related to this topic, you can ask those doubt also in the comment section. We request you to subscribe our channel so that, and also press the bell icon so that you'll get the notification as and when we are uploading the next videos. So we are continuously uploading videos based on the topics, based on the syllabus of Maharashtra State Board, or no, mostly all state boards have the similar syllabus. So we are posting the videos, we are uploading the videos based on the syllabus of 12 standard. So you'll get, if you subscribe our channel and press the bell icon, you'll get the notification of next videos. Thank you for watching this video.